Hello my lovelies, welcome to Nailchemy. I'm Lisa Grace and today I'm going to show you how to create Bella. This is Bella the beautiful butterfly and she's so lovely. And we're going to show you how to create her on this video. So I hope you enjoy this. Okay, right, this is the best bit, isn't it? You know, when you get to make it all beautiful. I love creating extreme shapes, but the art is definitely the best bit by a long way. Okay, so for this, you are going to need your Artisan gel paint. I've got mine in here. You are going to need, where are you, my pretty? You're going to need a fine liner detail brush, and you are going to also need a thicker brush that looks like this. So I'll show you these brushes together. So you're going to need two brushes that look like this. Right, so I'm using the neons. Look how pretty. I have had a little bit of top coat in there, which seems to have ran all the way over there. It's not a problem. It's not going to affect the gel paints. It is the no wipe top coat, so it's not going to have a tacky layer on it, and these paints don't have a tacky layer either. So it's not going to affect how they work. Right, so first things first, we need to use a little bit of black. I'm going to be using the fine liner for this. And what we want to be doing, let me zoom back out again. What we want to be doing is just tracing, just very, very lightly drawing in where we want our butterfly and where we want the wings. And this needs to be really, really thin and really, really light. So I'm looking at my wings and I'm thinking, so obviously I want the main wing coming in like this. So I'm going to bring this up to the center. And then where that center is, I'm just going to pop a little dot. And that dot is always where I'm going to be working to. That's going to be my center point of the butterfly. So this second wing here, I will keep it parallel, keep it running alongside the top wing. And I want to do the same on the other side. So again, awkwardly with positioning, but I know I need to work towards that dot. Always working towards that dot. And same again on the lower wing, bring that round and follow that line. So we've got this on that side. Come on, focus. And same again on this side. Careful not to knock it, obviously it's not cured. Now for the top wings, I'm going to draw straight from where our free edge is. I'm going to draw pretty much a straight line. We will be adding some, what's the word? We'll be adding some, I can't think of the word. We'll be adding something to it so that it doesn't look so dead straight when we're finished. But just keep that straight line in place. This is literally just us mapping out the nail. So we can see that we're coming down to the point. This is going to be the center point of our butterfly. When you've done that, we can pop that into the lamp just for a quick cure, just to hold all of that in place. It doesn't matter if your line is messy, it's okay because we're going to be going back over it. Once we've added all of the colours, we're going to be going back over that black outline to give it more definition and to perfect it, so don't worry. Right, wipe that brush over. Okay, right, so now I'm using my thicker brush. I'm going to work one wing at a time, so I'm going to focus completely on this upper wing section. If I was just doing a small butterfly just on one nail, I might do all 4 wings at the same time, or 2 wings, break it up depending on what colours I'm using. But because this is a large nail and I've got a large surface area, I'm going to be focusing just on one nail at a time. Right, so the first colour I'm going in with, what was this one called? I think it's neon purple or neon mauve. I've decanted them all into here, so I haven't actually got them next to me. Now you only need a small amount of this, and I'm just going to run this down along that black line, keeping this really, really thin. Now the good thing about these Artisan paints is they are so super pigmented that you don't need a lot. You only need a small amount, and by keeping them super thin, you're getting the colour without adding any bulk. Okay, so I'm just gonna blend this out like so, and then I'm gonna give my brush a wipe. Just wipe it off. Right, into, let's go for the neon pink. Neon pink, again, not too much product. And I'm going to lay this pink down right next to the purple. Repeat the same process. I'm going to bring it in. If you feel like you haven't picked up enough, grab a tiny little bit more. It's so much easier to go back and get a little bit more than end up with too much on your brush and ruining your blend. Take that right into the centre. Right, so now I've got those 2 colours next to each other, wet on wet. I've still got a little bit of this pink left in my brush. Along that line, I'm just going to start stroking and just start blending, moving left to right. And it will blend these 2 colours into one another, right the way down into that centre. See that? So if at any point you think that one colour is maybe more overpowering than the other, you can pick up a small amount of the colour that's being overpowered and add that back in. You can build this up in layers as well, so if you're really happy with this but you feel it needs more colour, you can cure this and then you can go back over the whole thing with the same colours and build it up that way. However, I definitely find that you really don't need to be building up the colours with these paints because they're so beautifully pigmented. One layer is definitely enough. Come on, focus, focus. Okay, right, so I'm going to wipe my brush off and now I'm going to come in with my 3rd colour. So let's go for, which one do I go for? Let's have a little bit of this. So I think this one was the neon, I want to say neon coral. Same as before, I'm going to run it alongside the pink all the way to the end, and then keeping that small amount of the coral on my brush, I'm going to blend over this pink section. These 2 colours just blend so beautifully together, really well. I do love doing a pink and an orange blend. Just works so well. So that barely needed anything. Okay, next section is the neon orange. And I think what I'll do, I think I'll fill the rest of this nail in that colour. Make sure you are keeping this thin. Really drag it and pull it. Keep it thin, fill that section, and then again over that line we can start blending. Make sure you're moving your brush left to right, really overlap those colours. I've got a dog that's having a nervous breakdown, midlife crisis. Do apologise. A leaf just fell off a tree outside and it's unnerved him. Okay, right, so hopefully you can see the nice transitional blend through those. So when you're happy, I'm going to pop that into the lamp. You can either give it a flash cure and then move on to the next section, or you can give it a full cure and just know that that is set for now. Okay, so I've given that a full cure and I've gone ahead and done the other side as well. So we are nice and matched up. Okay, so now moving on to the bottom section. It's up to you. You can use the same colours again. I'm going to continue working through a rainbow though. So I'm going to be doing a yellow section up here, coming into green and then blue towards the edge. So obviously we've only got the 3 colours in this section, so I'm going to have to spread them out a little bit more. I have still got a little bit of orange in my brush, but you know what? It's all going to tie in. Most of that will blend out anyway, but it won't look out of place. So take this up into that center point, always working towards that center point. Give your brush a wipe and then coming in to the green. Love this green. So bright. Again, bring that up into that center point. Like so. I've got a little bit too much green on my brush to blend this. So I'm just going to wipe that off. And then I can start blending these into each other. Just take your time and have patience when it comes to blending. If you need to keep wiping your brush off, then do so. And as I said, if you need to go back in and pick up maybe a little bit more yellow, you can do. If you need to get a little bit more green, you can do. As long as you're keeping these thin, it's all good. And make sure that when you're blending as well, make sure your brush strokes are going in the same direction as the wing. That way, if you can see, I have got brush strokes coming through here. It's just going to add a little bit more texture. A little bit more texture to this butterfly, which I think always helps. Okay, happy with that. I'm just going to blend this green out a little bit, ready for when we add the blue. Now the blue can be really, really overpowering. So make sure you go steady with your application on this. Make sure you don't add too much. You can see how dark it is in comparison to the green. So I'm not going to come all the way up onto the top of the nail. I'm still not 100% certain what I'm going to do with the top of this. So just to give myself some options for now, I'm just going to create a nice solid line with the blue. It doesn't have to be straight as long as it's solid. Nice solid line with the blue, and then that gives me a couple of options for what we can do with the top. May end up popping the body in there. Okay, so wipe the brush out. Now I need to blend the blue and the green. I'm actually going to pick up a small amount of green because the blue is so overpowering. That bit of green on your brush is going to help with the blend on that. And again, just a very, very small amount. I mean, even with that blue being so overpowering, you can still see how well they've blended together. Look at that. I do love these 3 colours together. So pretty. Right, I'm going to give that a flash cure, and again I will repeat the same on the other side. Oh my god, you guys. Look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I want all of them. I want a full set. Oh, I love her. Wow. Okay, right. So that for me is the best bit. I love blending my colours together, especially these Artisan paints. They just blend so beautifully. I mean, look. So pretty. Okay, so now we need to start adding detail to this. And it's all the little details that are going to bring this nail to life. So, this is where I'm always torn. Do I keep the nail shiny or do I give it a matte finish? I actually really like the effect that because these are the tack-free gels, you can leave them exactly as they are. And I love the effect that from pulling the brush through, it really gives texture to that nail, makes it definitely look more wing-like. So I think for that reason, I'm going to leave it completely as it is. Now, I really do like a matte finish and then adding details in top in shiny, and the contrast is so beautiful. But this, I think, is perfect for what we need. However, I am still going to have to top coat my acrylic. So I think I'll top coat that in matte. Where is my matte top coat? Okay, bear with me while I go find my matte top coat. There we go. Okay, right. So, in at the cuticle first. Now what I'm going to do is run it very carefully. You can use a detailer brush for this if you need to. However, we are still going to be painting the edges of these wings. So if you go over a little bit, don't worry. But if you can't trust yourself and you think you'd do a better job with a detailer brush, then do that if you need to. So make sure you are keeping that down the centre. Make sure you've covered everything else, and when you're done with that, pop that in the lamp. Give that a full cure. Okay, right, so I'm going to be using the black tack-free Artisan paint. This is one of the new ones. Obviously, if I was using the original black, it isn't tack-free, and that would need top coating. So that just makes things a little bit more difficult. So I'm so happy that they've released this tack-free one. This tack-free one is perfect for this design. Okay, right, so let's work on this side first, just because this is going to be easy for me to work on and to show you in the video. So I'm going to pick up quite a blob of gel, and I'm going to place this in this top corner here, and I'm actually going to fill this corner with the black gel. Need to get any more, get some more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm now going to create this solid line all the way down to our center point. So we want to keep this relatively thin. Obviously we're going to go thicker to thin. We need there to be a definite black line, but we don't want it too thick, especially in the center of this nail. There we go, that's what we're aiming for. So we're going from thick to thin. And then I can start bringing this down the side of the wing. So again, we want to have this coming thick to thin, but I'm not going to take it too thin all the way around this edge, because I want to keep a little bit of thickness here and then pull it nice and thin as we're coming back to that center point. I'm going to paint the underside of this as well. This is just going to give it a little bit more of a finished look. Okay, so bring this down, meet this back up to that black line that we mapped out initially. And then we can start pulling that nice and thin to the centre, like that. Okay, paint the underside of that wing. Okay, there we go. Right, now what we're going to do before we cure that, I'm just going to get a little bit of gel on my brush. While this gel is still wet, we're going to start pulling through some details. Now all these lines that we're going to be adding, they need to have curve to them. So make sure that you're curving them to that dot, our center point. So I'm going to add a couple of prominent ones and then a couple of different lengths, but I'm just using that wet gel that's around the outside, making sure that they're all curving, they're all going to that center point. Real nice light pressure for this one. We're taking them all to that center point. When you're happy with that, we can pop that into the lamp either for a flash cure so that you can move on to the next section, or if you're unsure that you might knock it or cause damage to it, then give it a full cure. I'm just going to give that a flash cure, and then I can move on to the lower section and do exactly the same thing. So for this one, I want a big blob of black up in this corner. So I can then join that to the first line that we created, making it one solid line. I'm going to do the same in this bottom corner here. Fill that with black. Very carefully create a line joining up to our dot. So again, that line needs to come thinner. Now I need to connect these two. Oh, I love this nail already. I do love butterflies. Okay, don't forget to paint the underside of this as well. Like I said, it's just going to give more of a complete refined look. There we go. I'm just going to, on this very tip, focus please. Just going to add a little bit more black and just curve this round a little bit more, like so. Okay, right, so wet gel again. Now we're going to be curving in the opposite direction. We're still going to be pulling towards that center point. That way or that way? Let's go for this way. So I'm going to come up and over, always coming towards that center point, using that wet gel that is already there. Okay, the rest of them just nice little flicks. Okay, again, when you're happy, you can pop that into the lamp. Okay, so this is out of the lamp now. And make sure you cure it under the lamp like this as well. As you see, it doesn't cure properly when it's just in like this. I've got it on my finger, so make sure you pop it in upside down as well. So this has all completely cured now. So I'll just get a little bit of acetone under there just to get that off my skin. Okay, right, so a couple of extra details that we need to add. Come to that in a second. We still need to give this little guy a head. We still need to give this little guy a body. And we need to give him some antennae. So what I'm going to do is just pick up a blob of this. And I'm going to place this blob down. And bring this really thin into the center, like that. Same again on this side, but I'm going to take it a little bit higher. And bring this down. Into that point, into a thin line. Like this. Yeah. Just going to give that a quick cure. And I've decided what I'm going to use for the head and the body, just to give it a slightly 3D element, is the sculpting gel. I'm going to focus. So I've just got a small blob of the black out, and we're going to use that with some water just to mould it. There we go. Okay, so a little bit of water in your hand. Let's just scrape off into there because I don't need that much. So obviously we just want a head. So you can use gloves for this if you want to. So you've got to think about proportions with this. I reckon that's a decent size head. Where's my 3D brush? There. I'm just going to scoop that up on the brush, and very, very carefully, because obviously I still want to keep the round shape. I am going to give this a little bit of support as well once it's on, because I definitely want to keep the round shape and give it the height that it needs. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to top coat it afterwards and help just seal that to the nail, whilst giving it an extra glossy finish as well. So just a quick cure for that, just to secure it in place. And then repeat the same again with the body. So I'm going to create a ball, and then I'm going to start rolling it out. Keep looking at the proportions. A little bit longer, I think. Obviously we don't want the body too long, otherwise you're running the risk of it then looking like a dragonfly, which we don't want. Oh, how cute is that? So I'm going to attach this, just press it in. But I don't want to lose the height of it. I mean, look how cute that is from the side. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love this little butterfly. Okay, let's give that a cure. Right, I'm going to give that a full cure now. That's the only bit of the sculpting gel that I'm going to be doing. So we'll give that a full cure, and then we're going to be needing some top coat. So the no wipe top coat, and I like to pop a blob of that just in my palette. Only need a little bit, and we're going to be using a detailer brush for this section. So make sure your detailer brush is nice and clean. Now I don't want to be flooding the nail with top coat, but I'm going to completely come round the sculpting gel making it shiny. And then by coming under the sculpting gel like this, that's going to help attach it to the nail, making it nice and secure. So just give that a flash cure, and then I'll do the same with the body. Again, completely covering it because I want it nice and shiny. And then running your brush underneath is just going to help connect it to the nail and keep it nice and secure. Just like so. Beautiful. Oh my god, she's so cute. She's so beautiful. Right, so we've just got a couple more little details to add. And then I think we're done. Sophie, what can we call this butterfly? We need to think of a name beginning with B, because she's a butterfly and she's beautiful and she needs a name. Are you ready to have a look at her? She's coming out of the lamp in 1 second. She's beautiful, isn't she? So we need a name beginning with B. What can we call her?
Bella.
Bella! I love it! Beautiful Bella butterfly. Awesome. Thanks, Sophie. Good idea. Okay, right. So make sure your detailer brush has got a real good clean, because we've just been using black and now we're going to be using white. So I'm going to be using white in a few elements just to add some highlights to Bella. So very, very small amount of white initially. And on these antennas, just hit the top of them like that. Same again on the other side, just hit the top of it. And we're going to do the same on the head, hitting the top of it, and then down Bella's body, like that. And that just helps give more of a cartoony, 3D, the light is bouncing off me effect. Oh, Bella's so beautiful. Give that a nice full cure. Again, this is the white tack-free gel, so I know that I can paint that on top and I don't have to worry about top coating it. We can literally just paint it on, cure it and go. Okay, 5 seconds. There we go. Oh, Bella is so beautiful. Look how cute she looks from the side with a little 3D body. And she's so beautiful. Right, let's clear some of this out of the way so you can see her properly. Let's give you a little tour of Bella. I love all the detail in her wing, and you know, these artisan paints are just perfect because it leaves you with that textured finish. She's so pretty. Right, let me go grab some cuticle oil. Okay, so today I am using the Mango Elixir cuticle oil. I'm just going to pop it in my hand and add it very carefully because we've painted the nail matte. I don't want to get that matte. I don't want to get the cuticle oil on the matte because it'll make it shiny. So just around the nail like that. I need to get some acetone on my hands. There we go. Right. Okay, so here we go, guys. This is Bella, the beautiful butterfly. I love her. Wonderful. Okay, so don't forget to give this video a little like. We feel your love every time you like our videos. The love is felt. Feel free to drop us a little comment, come and say hello, drop any questions that you've got. I'm happy to help you out with anything. And more importantly, make sure you click subscribe. That way you'll get a notification next time we drop a video. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. And more importantly, thank you for being an alchemist.